So, welcome back to this week's edition of Wednesday Wisdom. I'm super excited to share this with you. And I want to also share that this is a weekly, same time, same 10 minutes show or series or podcast or whatever it is going to be. Maybe one of those things is going to be under wraps and hopefully coming out soon. But it's something that I want you to tune into weekly or check out the recording if you can't make it to the time live. But know that there is a way that we're setting up so you can actually engage live, ask questions live. When you're hearing something and something pops up, you can either send a DM or actually send in a comment into the post where this is streaming live. So without further ado, today's topic is really a continuation of something we started on last week. So this is kind of part 2. And it's the 3 steps that freed up literally 20 hours a month. Right? So I want you to just imagine for a moment what you would do if you had 20 hours a month more time on your plate. How would that transform your life? What would be the quality of life it would be better or different if you had that much more time in your life and your lifestyle? So the first thing I want to share is perhaps the most transformative single thing was becoming super aware of my time. Now, in full transparency, I'm working on this myself, right? I am not someone that naturally has mastery over my time. And I'm not someone who's naturally mastery over being on time or managing my time. So what I'm sharing with you today has worked for me as someone who doesn't come naturally to and needed systems. Now, if it does come naturally to you and you're kind of the man or woman who is 5 minutes early is actually late, that approach, then amazing. And you're starting out way ahead of myself. But what I'm just being honest is really sharing this fact that I'm not always necessarily on time how much I want to be, but I'm working on it and I have systems in place and I'm creating this. And this is one of the ways that I'm learning how to do that when I don't have a place to be or I don't have someone waiting or there isn't a pre-scheduled or structured part of my day. How do I manage my time in that case? Or when I'm running my team or I'm helping my employees who are helping me, how do I manage that time when I'm being pulled in a number of different directions? So the first thing that I want to share today of the 3 steps is what I call a time tracker, where basically I'll share with you a template that I made. And essentially what we're going to do is I want you to look at this template right here, okay? This screen. Okay, so here's the template. I hope it's actually showing here. But essentially this template, this timesheet has been really, really valuable for me. And what it's allowed me to do is be able to see, okay, here every day is the week. And literally from around the time that I wake up, from 7 a.m. every 15 minutes, I could not find one that was every 15 minutes broken down. So literally every 15 minutes I'm writing in. I'm not sharing with you what I actually write down, but essentially I'm filling this out, the full thing every single day. And then I send it to my business coach. Because when you have accountability, when you have someone that you're sending it to, and you really want to start mastering and managing your time way better, being way more efficient and finding the places where you can free it up, it really is a matter of being accountable and saying, hey, I'm ready to have that partner who's willing to do that. Now, I personally believe that any coach who should be taken seriously, before you ever hire them, you should ask them, who is your coach? And they should be hiring someone. They should be working with someone. They should be paying someone, not free mentorship. That's just a side point, but really, really important, right? Whenever you're going to have accountability, you're going to have someone helping you something, you want to be paying them and you want them to be paying someone else because they take what they do seriously and value it themselves, okay? So knowing that I'm going to send to my business coach, I basically share this knowing, hold on a second, I know there's 4 blocks of time throughout my day, right? There's that morning part where I know around 1 o'clock is when I kind of need a break, but I have a strong stretch from the beginning until midday. And then it continues and until around this time, this second block. Right. So I know that this time is basically round 2. Sometimes this is lunch. Sometimes there's exercise. Sometimes there's different things. But I'm gonna know that around 4:15 I'm probably gonna be taking a break, and it could be that there might be more other activities, family time, spouse time, exercise, other things, prayer, whatever's going on in this third period. So I have it as actually a block. So I'm not feeling like my day is being cut in half. I feel like I'm really separating it into chunks, into like 4 buckets. And this is kind of the final straw. And I stop at 11:45 because I know that by midnight, I want to be clear about lights out and I want to track what time I'm actually out of bed. Notice, I did not say what time I get into bed. I did not say what time I get up in the morning. I'm tracking lights out and out of bed. Do you see how those are very clear statistics? Those are very clear ways. So this is the timesheet. If you're interested in this, I'm happy to share it with you. How on earth do I stop sharing? Stop screen. Okay, perfect. So let me know if that was valuable. So that's the timesheet. Now, it does take time to do this, right? But I realized that freeing up my time meant investing more of it. Notice I said investing, not spending. It means investing more of it because, by the way, spending has a meaning of waste, as if what you do with your time or money is now gone. But investing means that you're intentionally taking some time, money, energy, any other resource, and you're using it now intentionally so you can get an ROI from it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm becoming really intentional and really clear about where I'm using my time. And I'm not always aware of it if I'm not tracking it. And tracking it every 15 minutes allows you to really become crystal clear about what you're doing. Is that working? And were you being actually efficient in it? So I have a timer that goes off every 15 minutes and says, oh, okay, I got to track this now. So from 1 to 1:15, from 1:15 to 1:30, I know exactly what I'm doing during that time. And then I'm going to go back at the end of the week and look at it and say, okay, where was I being efficient? At the end of the day, I highlight the red and say, okay, here was where I was not being as efficient as I could be. Here was where I was not being as effective as I could be. And so you want to dig into this and look at, okay, where am I spending my time? What parts of my day are being, the time is really being sucked out of it because of these other things that shouldn't be ones I'm working on. And so then there's a second piece. I'm just kind of running through this. There's so much more to do here. But the second piece is really what I call appify yourself. And yeah, I just invented that word. So I have an app on my 2 main devices, right? So there's dozens of different time management, time tracker apps. What I did is I chose one for my cell and one for my computer. The one for my cell is called Your Hour, and the one for my computer is called Toggle Tracker. And Your Hour, basically what it does is it has daily reports and tells me how many times I unlocked my phone, how much time did I spend on each of these apps, how much time did I do compared to the day before and over the last 7 days on each of those apps on my phone. How many times was I unlocking? At what points during the day was I spending that time on my phone or on my computer or on a certain website or on a certain task or on a certain window of my computer? And so the first step in really getting your time back is becoming super conscious of where it went. Same thing with money. Same thing with energy. Same thing with any resource. But this is a system that you can use. So again, this countdown timer I find is really, really valuable for me. All right, the third one is probably the most advanced and the most involved and takes constant refinement. And again, I share that because of personal experience. I've been doing this. It's what I call in my system. So I have a 5-pillar system I use with my one-on-one clients. And it's what I call update, automate, or delegate. Meaning you want to include what it is. Oh yeah, someone just asked if I'm rewarding myself for good time usage. Absolutely. And the way that I do that is by carving out more free time during my week. And the pleasure, the goal, the destination that I'm working towards is so that I can do A, B, or C, the things that I like to do. So for me, if you've been seeing my stories or videos, it's going to the beach or going on dates with my wife or going for walks or going for workouts, doing things that I really love. Those might be different than what you want to do, but you got to get clear about what it is you want to do with your free time. And that's a great question. And once I free up my time, where do I then fill that available time? What's the best way to do that to help me, support me, achieve my goals? Maybe we'll include that for next week. So update, automate, and delegate. Essentially, you want to review and do a time accounting like we did from step 1. You're looking at that sheet and you want to review and see what can be given away. What can be given away to someone else? What can be given away to a software or a system that just automatically goes? What can be given away to a VA? What can be given away entirely? So when I say update, most people say, I used to say do, delegate, or delete. This is kind of like that, but sometimes before you want to delete something, you just need to actually update the way that you're doing it. There might not be a way to automate it, but there might be a way you can update how you're doing it. So for example, one of the questions I get a lot from clients is, well, I have so many things on my to-do list that has to be done by me. How can I automate that? I can't delegate that, right? What do I do when my team needs me? My team has questions for me. My employees need me to sign off on things or answer questions, or customers or clients want to speak to me. I can't. How do I update that? How do I automate that? I can't delegate that. Great questions. We'll talk about that next week if you want, or not next week, but in a future edition. Or it's really hard to delegate or give up control. Or how can I delete something? Right? How do I know when I need to delete something? Or what are the step-by-step to actually update or automate things that need to be updated? So these are all great questions. Tune in on a future one and watch out for an upcoming edition. Next week, we're going to do something on the holidays. And the following week, maybe we'll return to this time management if it's in demand. So let me know what you liked. Let me know what landed for you. And I'll see you in the comments.